Patriots of Era, Kerry GA fans, Donegal fans, and all GA fans throughout the 32 counties at home and abroad. Well, in less than 24 hours, it'll all be decided in Croke Park. Either the Sam Maguire will be heading north to Donegal or making his way back to the kingdom for the 39th time, if the gods and David Clifford allow it. The pitch is marked, the umpire flags are fluttering. The Artane Boys Band are likely polishing their brass and rehearsing their steps. And for us, the supporters of Kerry and Donegal, it's a privilege to be part of it all. We are the 16th player. We are the heartbeat in the stands. We are the voices that rise when the legs are tired and the lungs are burning. There is no other place in earth I would rather be than in Croke Park on All-Ireland final day. Tomorrow brings together two counties with more in common than what most would think, both hugged by wild Atlantic waves, both proud of our fishing harbours, our rugged coastlines and our fiercely loyal people, both proudly wearing green and gold, not just colours but symbols of who we are. Donegal and Kerry, two counties carved by wind, water and warrior hearts. But tomorrow, folks, for 60 minutes, all that friendship is politely put on hold. We'll roar for every block, every point and every goal. We'll grip our flags like rosary beads. We'll forget about our bills, our worries, our aches and pains, because nothing else matters when your county takes the field in Croke Park. And after the final whistle, we'll shake hands and smile again. But for that 1 hour, we'll be hoarse with pride, full of nerves and bursting with belief. Here's to a final for the ages. Here's to Donegal, here's to Kerry, and here's to the magic of an All-Ireland Sunday. I said it before and I'll say it again. One day there will be streets in Ireland named after Enoch Burke. Because when the truth was outlawed, he stood up. When the system told him to sit down, to shut up, to bow to something, he knew in his heart and soul it was wrong and he refused. They locked him up like a criminal, over 500 days behind bars, not for violence, not for theft, but for holding the line, for standing firm in his faith, his convictions and his duty to the truth. They hit him with €700 fines, then €1,400 a day. They raided his wages, tried to break him financially, spiritually and publicly. But yesterday, folks, they didn't break him. He broke through. Yesterday, the Court of Appeal stood back and said, hold on a minute, he has a point. There is a shadow of unfairness here. There is the real sense of bias. That's just not a legal technicality. That's a vindication. Not just for Enoch Burke, but for every man, woman and child in this country who's been told to deny what they believe, who's been mocked, silenced or pushed to the edges of society because they wouldn't play ball along with the madness. They called him a fanatic. They called him a bigot. But let's be real, they feared his courage. They feared that one man standing alone might wake up the rest of us. This wasn't about pronouns. This was about power. Who gets to control truth, conscience, education and the very soul of our nation? And this man, Enoch Burke, a teacher, a brother, a son, took all the punishment the state could throw at him and still stood up and said, I will not bow. That's Irish courage. That's Irish fire. That's the spirit of the men and women who built this country. Not on cowardice and compromise, but on backbone and blood. One day there will be children in this country walking down Enoch Burke Street and asking who he was. And we'll tell them he was the man who refused to lie. He was the man who stood up when everyone else was told to kneel. And for that, he lit a flame that can't be put out. President Donald Trump, please will you stop in Doonbeg on your way back home from Scotland, the heart of west of Ireland, where the spirit of the people still burns strong. You spent the night at your family-owned Turnberry golf course on a private visit, but you still took the time out to call what so many of us here feel in our hearts. You said this morning, Stop the windmills, you're ruining your countries. I really mean it, it's so sad. You fly over and you see all these windmills all over the place, ruining your beautiful fields and valley and killing your birds. And Donald Trump, you warned on immigration. You better get your act together. You're not going to have Europe anymore. You're right, and we need your ear. Here in Ireland, under Micheál Martin, that traitor who called us mongrels, and his cobbled together Irish government, we see our country vanishing before our eyes. Our heritage erased, our voices silenced, and our borders unguarded. They call it progress, we call it surrender. We are watching our landscape scarred with wind farms that locals oppose and that benefit foreign investors. We are watching illegal, unvetted mass migration pushed into rural communities with no say, no services and absolutely no security. President Trump, we are crying for leadership, not from our government, but from each other, from the people, from the patriots. We are not anti-immigrant, we are pro-Irish. We want law and order. We want safe, sovereign communities. We want to preserve what makes Ireland unique and pass it on to our children. So please, President Trump, stop in Doonbeg. Let us speak to you directly. 5 minutes of your time to hear the truth from the ground, not from the government. We stood with America when it mattered. Now we ask you, Donald Trump, respectively, to stand with us. God bless America. And God help Ireland, Donald Trump. 329 SNA posts for Ukrainian and IPAS students, while Irish children are denied help. A national disgrace. I've heard it all now, folks. The Irish government, through Helen McEntee, has confirmed that 329 special needs assistant posts have been allocated not to Irish children, but to Ukrainian migrants and those in the international protection system. Meanwhile, 126 Irish children with special educational needs have no school place at the start of the year. Families are breaking down under the weight of worry, while the state pours resources into migrants, leaving our own behind. If this doesn't wake up the Irish people, I don't know what will. This is a betrayal of our children, our nation and our future. The government says it's building supports, but for whom? Not for the Irish child, not for the Irish parent desperately waiting on an SNA placement, a chance. This is not compassion, it's abandonment. This cobbled together Irish government is selected, not elected. They laugh at the nationalist movement. It's splintered, divided and disorganised. I say no more. We need to act now, and act now. I need 100,000 plus people to stand with me to dissolve the Dáil and demand justice and sovereignty and truth. But I can't, folks, do it alone. I need your help, your financial support and your donations. Please give what you can to Keane Save Ireland GoFundMe page. Your contribution will help expose the election fraud, pursue legal action and bring down this illegitimate government that has sold out its people. And to all the so-called nationalist parties, I'm imploring you, sit down around the table and cop on. The country is falling apart while you run around like headless chickens. This cobbled together Irish government are only laughing at you and at us. We need strong, united, unapologetically nationalist movement. Ireland belongs to the Irish people, not to globalists, not to Brussels, not to opportunists. Join the movement, donate to Keane Save Ireland. Stand up, speak out, be counted. Let's make Ireland great again and for the Irish again. See you all in Croker. Gura Míle Maith Agaibh.